everybody, I am Joel. We are Silver Arrow Cars, and this is a very cool, lots of history, very cool for us as we've known the car for a number of years. This is our 1987 Porsche 911 Carrera 3.2, finished in its original color of silver metallic over a Bordeaux partial leather interior. Everything is Bordeaux on the interior, and I think you will probably admit the Bordeaux goes so well with the silver metallic exterior. We purchased this car from a local friend and, well, now ex-Porsche employee. He was a Porsche salesman at our local Porsche dealership for a number of years, and this was his daily driver to and from work. Now, I say that we are in an area where anybody's commute, generally speaking, is 5 to 10 miles per day. So, but he drove this for the better part of 9 years as his daily driver. He has done tasteful modifications to it and added a modern stereo and Bluetooth, but for the most part, drove it as a very cool, close to original 3.2 Carrera, and I always thought that was the coolest thing, that a Porsche salesman is driving a classic air-cooled car to work. So, very cool car. The history of it is it was actually first delivered in Santa Cruz, California. That is where it remained from 1987 when it was delivered up until the mid-90s, and that is when it made the trek from California and came up to Vancouver, British Columbia. It got to Vancouver, British Columbia, and that is where it stayed in what I believe is single ownership in Vancouver, British Columbia for many, many years, from the mid-90s all the way up until 2014. It drives fantastically. We do have a driving video, so please click that if you haven't. But tasteful modifications that he's done. When the car is originally spec'd as a sunroof car, working and functioning just as it should. It is an original Fuchs car. 6s and 7s is what it would have had new. This has 7s and 8s, and it has for many, many years. That's how he purchased it. He has upgraded the exhaust. It does have headers. It has upgraded brakes in the front. It's got Porsche 987 front monoblock calipers and rotors. It's got 930 rotors and brakes in the rear. Steel braided lines all the way around. Like I said, it already had the headers, and then it's got newer stainless Borla exhaust that sounds perfect, if I might say so. It has an ECU chip. And that is about the extent of the performance modifications. It is slightly lowered as well, has rear drop links that were added to it. And then this is the stance that it's been for many years and almost how he purchased it. Tires are newer. Those are from 2019, I believe, with lots of rubber left on those. Presentation across the entire car is really, really good. We added the Carrera decals along the bottom as I thought that would really play well with the entire car, and I think I nailed it. The interior is in great condition, and the exterior presents extremely, extremely well. It has had paint over the years. It's not the original paint to the car, but it is the original color to the car. Just a really nice car. It has 191,000 miles. Yes, that is on the higher end of mileage for one of these cars. However, it has had 2 fully documented engine out services, both of which were done with photographs, and we have all that photographs. And while I say that, this binder comes with the car. We put everything chronological into this binder, but there is 140 plus pages of documentation. And so when you're talking about a car with higher mileage, the question then becomes how is it serviced? How was it driven? How was it taken care of? Well, for the last, let's just call it decade, the car has been serviced at the Porsche Center where he worked at, and he paid normal rate and had the work done there. And then years previous, all the way back to 1999, All the paper documents are in this, documenting those engine out services, and then all the services done in between. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, what about previous to 1999? Yes, the original books come with the car as well as the keys. And in those original books, there is that all-important front page with the matching sticker from underneath the bonnet with the VIN number. It has the stamps for when it was signed off, and then it has all of its initial services that run it right up until 1997. So generally, or almost, full documentation all the way through from the beginning and right up until today. So why do I point that out about the service history and the history in general on this car? Well, it has 191,000 miles. I can't change that. That is the accurate and today mileage on the car. But what I can talk about is that still has great compression. It has all that service history. It's had those engine out services. And I think those things combined, both with the condition of the car, color combo, retaining its factory glass and moldings, this is a prime candidate for someone that wants a car that they can hop in and without worry, start it up and go wherever it is they want to go. Do you want to go to the movies? Do you want to go out for dinner? Do you want to go to a coffee and cars? Any of those things, it's the perfect candidate for. Is it absolutely perfect? No, it's had paint over the years and it's got some wear to the interior, but that's if you want to get fairly nitpicky on the car. If you want a car that you can go out and use without having an immense amount of worry, that if you're buying, say, the same car and it had 50,000 miles, all original paint, you probably know it as well as I do. I hear it all the time. You're worried about taking it to that event or throwing the kids in the back or going to the soccer game or whatever it is. This is a car that has all of the curb appeal, has all the performance, has all of the sound to it, has all the fun, which you'll probably see in the driving video, but it has a lower entry point in cost, but it has all of the emotion and everything else without the worry and the massive capital investment. So with that said, let's just show you around the car. We'll show you some footage in and around the car, and then we'll hop into the interior, show you the interior, and we'll start it up for you as well and do a cold start on this really cool Carrera 3.2. Front of the car and condition of the paint is really quite good. There's the odd small nick on the leading edge of the front hood, but being a silver car, a lot of that stuff disappears. So you'll see kind of as we pan across, there's a little bit of marks on the leading edge of the hood, but very, very minor. The seal and the plastic trim around the front and on the leading edge of the bumper or the impact bumper, all that rubber is really good. It's sitting where it's supposed to be. Same with the seals and black trim, the impact trim, the lower valance and air dam in great shape. As I said, we just added the Carrera decals, so they're essentially new. The trim, so the anodized black trim around the windshield, coveted black trim, all in great shape, as well as the window seal. The rubber isn't cracking, that's all in good shape. Same with the mirror caps and around the mirrors, and then same with all of the trim going around both the door on the driver's side and their passenger side. Same with the door handles and the seals around it, and the lower beltline trim. Wheels are in really, really great shape, finished correctly with that semi-satin lip. And then the centers, the black centers, are in quite good shape indeed. Very original condition, but still quite black. Moving around to the rear of the car, the grille across the back is not cracked. It is in good shape. Same with the screen. The impact bumper rubbers in good shape, all of which in and around the back of the car, same thing. Same thing with the rear lenses and the Carrera emblem across the back. All of that is in great shape. Great fitment on the doors. Doesn't look like they have been off. They all line up just the way they should. Same with hood and everything else in the car. I really like the black and silver contrast with the accent of the Bordeaux interior. I think that looks really, really good. It kind of reminds me of newer GT silver cars with their red interiors. As I said, the sunroof is fully operational. We'll show you that. And with that, I think we should move into the interior. The last thing I would say is windshield wiper arms and hardware all is in great condition. It doesn't have a lot of patina or markings to it. The front glass, it does have some light pitting on the windshield, but no cracks or large chips. Moving into the interior, the entire interior is in very good condition. There's no dash cracks. This original steering wheel is still in really good shape. All of the color, none of the color is faded. Does not have floppy door pocket syndrome on either side. Those are both great. The previous owner replaced the rubber seal for the driver's door. So if you've ever done that on a old air-cooled, they are a little bit tight for a while until they work in. What else can I tell you? The driver's seat, as of today, does have a split in the leather seat bottom towards the back of the car. That is something we're trying to source a new one out of the UK. So as of today, that has not been repaired, and that is something that the next owner will want to do. These are still available as a seat skin kit that would do both the driver's and the passenger seat. So across the dash, all in great shape. Same thing with the cluster and the gauges. All of those look really fantastic. There's a custom wooden shift knob with the shifter. I believe it does have a short throw shifter installed in the car as well. He put in a modern stereo, which I will tell you, he did not go half-ass on it. It is fantastic. It is a pretty run-of-the-mill Kenwood deck with Bluetooth, but he does have separate speakers in the door panels, separate mid-range, and then proper speakers in the rear package tray, together with an amplifier and a fully removable, just floating rear box behind the rear seats, and with two subs mounted in there, two 8-inch subs. If you like music, what I do when I'm driving, it sounds phenomenal. So you've got the modern stereo with Bluetooth and then a great stereo system. He did add keyless entry, so it does have central locking, and with that he added a keyless entry system to it, which is nice. That is also integrated into the alarm. This was a factory air-conditioned car. It has been recharged in preparation for sale. As I said previously, sunroof fully working and operational. And then the rest of the interior is in just really good shape. You'll see it through all of our photos and through this video, but a well looked after car. And fortunately, being that it spent most of its years up here on the West Coast, it really didn't get sun bleached or sun damaged as you would see in some California cars and southern US cars. I just wanted to go up under the front bonnet up here. It does seem to retain its original carpet set in the front here. We took some photos, and you'll see that in our photo set. But I just wanted to talk about how tidy it is and original underneath the hood. You can see the VIN decal still on the underside of the hood, but underneath all the carpet, you'll see there's its original VIN tag in the tub. All of this looks very correct. Underneath the carpets, all looks nice and tidy. No weird corrosion, nothing to note. It does have that factory spare in here. It does have the jack as well, and the tool roll. You'll see those in the photos. but all looks nice and tidy under here. Now, probably worth saying after being up front under the hood, when we come back to the rear of the car and you look into the engine compartment, something that we look for a lot when we're buying and selling cars, and if you're not sure of what is beneath the paint, or if you're not sure as to the history, or maybe you can't get under the car to get a good idea of where it's lived, when you get under into the engine compartment in the back and you start looking in some of the corners, and you look at some of the fittings and the hose clamps and everything else, what you want to see is factory cosmoline. You don't want to see any weird corrosion on any of the aluminum, the intake plenums, or any of the components. And I will say very neat and tidy on the back side of this car and in that engine compartment. It all looks great. So I hope we have helped guide you in your decision to purchase. If there's any further questions you have on this gorgeous silver metallic over Bordeaux partial leather interior 1987 Carrera 3.2, and what I didn't mention, which I now very much regret, is that 1987 was the first year of the G50 cars. What am I talking about when I say G50 cars? Previously to 1987, in these cars, they fitted them with the 915 transmission. It was a big upgrade to go to the G50 transmission from the 915. Thus, the 87, 88, and 89 cars are worth substantially more than the previous generation cars. That is something that has always been a fact and continues to be. And you will see me driving and shifting through the transmission that operates and feels fantastic down the road. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us and contact us at Silver Arrow Cars on the internet. I'm Joel. You can find our phone number as well. Give us a call, ask us any more questions that you might have on this car. That is all I got for you. Please reach out if you have any more questions. Again, a fantastic car. This is a great, high quality driver's car, performance modifications, a whole ton of eyeball, and a very solid car coming from great climate with no gremlins. Good luck to you, and I hope to talk to you soon.